Hello, I'm Dr. Sally Spencer Thomas, CEO and co-founder of the Carson J. Spencer Foundation. At the Carson J. Spencer Foundation, we envision a world where leaders and communities are dedicated to sustaining a passion for life. We sustain a passion for life by creating innovative and effective suicide prevention programs for working-aged adults. We also coach emerging social entrepreneurs to become the next generation of suicide prevention advocates. And we also support people bereaved by suicide. In addition, I am the Survivor Division Chair for the American Association of Suicidology. And I train and speak all over the country and the world, building capacity in communities to create a tipping point of change in the suicide prevention movement. The first time I saw Major General Mark Graham, I was at a conference for higher education. The room was packed. You could hear a pin drop, and there was not a dry eye in the house. I went on to hear him several more times with several different audiences, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was a military audience or a room full of mental health service providers or community advocates. The result was the same. His message was compelling, and people were deeply moved. You see, Major General Mark Graham speaks from the heart about his tragic loss of not one but two sons to war. One to the war of combat and the other to the war within. And when a leader of that caliber can speak so openly and honestly about things that touch him so deeply, people listen. I met his wife Carol later, and we instantly hit it off. We decided to go have lunch together, and over a couple of salads, we sat down and talked about our loved ones, her beautiful sons, and my brother, who was also taken too soon by suicide. We shared stories of their life and stories of our grief. And I was deeply moved by her passion and commitment to never, never give up. The Grahams have led the way. Their leadership is visible, vocal, and visionary. And because of that, people listen, and changes happen. Other leaders can feel a sense of urgency when someone like Major General Mark Graham stands up and says this matters. The urgency to make suicide prevention a priority. And for the countless people that are suffering in silence, his message makes a huge difference. It says, I hear you. Your life matters, and I'm doing everything I can to help change this. It's a very empowering thing to hear. In 2008, the Carson J. Spencer Foundation honored the Grahams with an award. We gave them our Shining Lights of Hope Award. Each year we give one family or individual acknowledgement for their work of turning the grief of their loss into meaningful action in suicide prevention. We felt the Grahams were so deserving of this because of all the work they had done in promoting the message of suicide prevention in our state of Colorado and then later through the nation. We learned from them ourselves. Just like my brother, the burden of suicide rests with men of working age, and yet so little is done to reach them. And the Grahams, by telling their story of also losing a man of working age, help move that forward, help move that prevention forward. We need to know if we're going to do that, we have to change our messages. We can't just keep saying the same old thing of go get help, go get help. But we need to understand that sometimes that population that is most at risk here's a different message. Their warrior ethos tells them they need to be strong. And tell them, use your strength to let your buddies know they're not alone. Never leave a comrade behind. And be that source of strength when others feel they can't go on. It's my honor and pleasure to acknowledge the Grahams yet again. They are truly remarkable people and exceptional leaders in this fight to end the tragic impact of suicide. Thank you.